Retro gaming is awesome, but do you know what's even better than retro gaming? Retro gaming on the go. I always love playing games portably. I use my Nintendo Switch equally in docked and handheld, and I still use my 11-year-old 3DS regularly. In fact, I've even modded my 3DS a couple years ago, so I play a lot of my favorite retro games on the go. But one area that I haven't dabbled in much is the world of retro handhelds. They've been becoming increasingly popular lately, and I've definitely been interested in checking them out. Recently, I've been playing the Anbernic RG35XX Plus, and it's an affordable way of playing retro games on the go. It's comfortable, well-designed, durable, and powerful enough to play many retro consoles, including the PS1, DS, PSP, and even some Nintendo 64 games. It has some capabilities that even other retro consoles, such as the Mii U Mini, don't have. So in this video, I will be reviewing many aspects of this console, and why it's a great retro handheld. First of all, let's get a rundown of the specs of this console. The 35XX Plus is a Linux-based handheld with a 3.5-inch 640x480 display with an H700 CPU with 4 Cortex-A53 cores clocked in at 1 GHz. A Mali G31 MP2 GPU, and 1GB of LPDDR4 RAM. The system comes with a 64GB microSD card, but it also comes with 2 microSD card slots, allowing you to add more games or custom firmware onto the system. It also supports Wi-Fi, which can help you update different components, or also allows you to utilize NetPlay multiplayer. It also has Bluetooth, allowing you to add Bluetooth accessories, such as controllers or wireless headphones. The battery life is around 8 hours, which is pretty good, and has allowed me to use it for a day or two on a single charge. I also really like how the screen looks on this console. The resolution is good for the size, and the colors pop pretty well. And you also have the capability of connecting this to a TV or monitor via HDMI. So it's almost like a mini Nintendo Switch, or Steam Deck in a way. One of the most important parts of a gaming handheld is its design, as it can determine the comfort and playability that the console can offer. The build of the 35XX Plus is very solid, and despite its shape, it's actually surprisingly ergonomic and comfortable to hold. The face buttons feel very tight and responsive, while the D-pad is very good as well. Keep in mind, this console doesn't have an analog stick attached to it, so playing N64 or Dreamcast games might be a bit weird, but you can use a separate Bluetooth controller for playing them. But for playing NES, SNES, Genesis, PS1, and DS games, it's excellent, and the D-pad works really well for playing those games. Another aspect that I like about this console is its form factor, because I love how compact and portable it is. Many devices are fairly large and don't feel comfortable in your pocket, but the 35XX Plus is very conveniently sized and is very easy to carry around. The console looks very nice as well, and actually has a few colors to choose from, such as gray, which is similar to the classic Game Boy colors, white, and then transparent black, which is the one that I chose, because I'm a big fan of translucent tech, as it gives me a lot of late 90s and early 2000s vibes, and I kind of miss when Nintendo did that. I love how this handheld is designed too, since it gives me a lot of Game Boy vibes, which makes it a perfect system to emulate on. So there are many great aspects all around with the design of this handheld. The UI that is pre-installed with the system is surprisingly very solid, and the design is an improvement from the original version of the RG35XX from what I've seen. It has menus for all of the supported consoles. Many of the emulators use RetroArch, and it's also very easy and intuitive to connect the Wi-Fi or Bluetooth devices. You can also easily save your games or tweak emulation settings with either RetroArch or Drastic, and while there are more things that you can do with Garlic OS, the base UI is very solid and provides everything that you'll probably need if you're playing it casually. The RG35XX is capable of emulating many different systems, but it's especially capable of emulating games up to the PS1 and DS. Most of these older systems run very well on the 35XX Plus. They look very good on the small display, with the resolution working very well with these systems. The D-pad is also great for playing these older games as well, since it actually feels similar to playing it on a DS Lite or GBA. But I also wanted to discuss some of the more powerful systems that can be emulated, and to see how they hold up on this console. With DS playability, while this console doesn't have a touchscreen, many DS games don't really require a touchscreen, like Pokemon, Mario Kart, New Super Mario Bros., Mario 64 DS, and most RPGs, so they should work fine on this console. With the pre-installed Drastic emulator, you can swap between the top and bottom screens, making for a very solid experience. You can also enable things such as higher resolution for 3D graphics, similar to how Melon DS renders things by default. I've been playing a bit of New Super Mario Bros. In 64 DS on the 35XX Plus, and honestly, I can confidently say that it runs very well and is a very playable way of playing DS games. PSP is another system that runs surprisingly well on this handheld, which is especially impressive considering the fact that it's more powerful than the N64 and PS1. While I haven't had too much experience with trying PSP games, all of the ones that I've played run very well on the 35XX Plus, so between DS and PSP, and by extension GBA, this is a great system for playing those nostalgic 2000s handheld games. N64 emulation doesn't run quite as well as less powerful systems, but is still a very playable way of playing some of these games, and is definitely a decent experience for many games. Mario 64, Kirby 64, Ocarina of Time, and even Paper Mario are functional and run decently well if you adjust some settings. However, there are some games that have a lot of lag and slowdown, and are not very playable, like Mario Tennis, so it really depends on which games you play. I played Paper Mario for a couple hours on this system, because of course I did, I'm the Paper Mario guy after all, and it plays surprisingly well, even with the D-pad, though with the Bluetooth controller support, you don't even have to worry about that. And if you're a big Mario RPG fan like me, you practically have the first 3 Mario RPGs, plus Partners in Time, that are very playable on this device. I definitely see a lot of potential for N64 emulation on this system, because custom firmware is being developed and will eventually help make the most of this system's capabilities, and I hope to see better N64 emulation in the future, but I am definitely content with some of the games that are able to run on here already. Sega Dreamcast is another system that is technically supported for this handheld, and I'm surprised that some of the games are even playable at all. Crazy Taxi actually ran decently well, and I'm surprised that it was actually playable, but other games like Sonic Adventure 2 didn't even boot up, so it really depends on the game, even more so than N64. So if you want to play Dreamcast games on this system, I only recommend playing the ones that are not very demanding. So overall, the Anbernic RG35XX Plus is a very capable retro handheld for its price. It costs around $85, which is very affordable, and it offers quite a lot more than other retro handhelds for its price. It has things such as HDMI support, great battery life, PSP, and even limited Nintendo 64 emulation, and a very comfortable form factor. This handheld has so much packed into it, and it's definitely worth checking out if you're looking for a retro handheld. And if you're interested, be sure to check out the Amazon link in the description. There are a variety of colors to choose from, and it even comes with some pre-installed games. So, if you're interested, this is a great system to buy during the holidays, and I've had a great experience with it overall. I am definitely interested in reviewing more consoles in the future, so keep a lookout whenever I have one posted. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Twitter if you want to. Goodbye.